Mailbag time here on Seahawks Today. Tyler Jones here. Thanks for joining us. Coming up on today's show, we'll answer your questions that come from our live mailbags that we do on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. You guys submit questions to us using the hashtag Seahawks or super chatting, and we react to them in real time. It's a lot of fun. We have a great time doing it. And you may be saying to yourself, I want to be a part of Mailbag. Well, you know what? You can too. Subscribe to the channel now. Turn on notifications. And you'll be the first to know when we go live. That way you can join us for the mailbag and interact in real time. So subscribe now for free and be a part of our mailbag segments in the very near future that we do every week. You'll be glad you did. Alan with a $5 super chat writes in, do you think Kenneth Walker will have a 1,000-yard season this upcoming year? Alan, I got to tell you, I'm very optimistic. I'm very excited about Kenneth Walker in 2023. I thought he was spectacular in 2022 and showed a lot of flashes. And he's got a good mix of both power and speed, very athletic. And, you know, the Seahawks were in a situation when Rashad Penny went down where Kenneth Walker had to be ready to go and ready to carry that load. And he showed that he was ready for the moment, that it wasn't too big for him. And I remember last year, around this time, folks were asking me about the running back room, and I said, look, I think Kenneth Walker's better than Rashad Penny. I think he's going to, at some point, be your number one running back. And there were some people that said, nah, Rashad's the guy and all this. I'm like, no, watch out. Kenneth Walker is going to be that dude. And he proved to be that dude. And then the other half of that question that I'm sure folks are factoring and wondering, well, didn't they draft two running backs in Zach Charbonnet as well as Kenny McIntosh? Is there enough carries to go around? Well, you're still going to have Kenneth Walker be your primary bell cow, and then you're going to see them kind of fill the rest to give breaks of some sorts, and you're going to see some two-back sets. So Kenneth Walker still be your ace. Think of it like a pitching staff. He's your number one pitcher. Charbonnet is your number two, and McIntosh is your number three. Yeah, he'll have over 1,000 yards. Stoner Television. That sounds like an interesting TV show. Do you think Julian Love will have 3 of 5 picks, 10 pass breakups, Diggs 5 picks, 10 pass breakups, 2-3 picks, 7 pass breakups, Tariq with 10 picks, 15 pass breakups, Witherspoon with 5 to 6 interceptions, 15 pass breakups? That's a whole lot of numbers. Let's go through this, I guess. 3 to 5 picks for Julian Love, that seems high. 10 pass breakups, I don't know about that. Diggs, 5 picks, I don't know about that. That's a little high, too. 10 pass breakups. Adams, 2 or 3 picks, that might be right. 7 pass breakups. Tariq's not getting 10 interceptions. I can tell you that much right now. 15 pass breakups would be incredible, but that seems unlikely. Witherspoon, 5 to 6 interceptions. That would be very high as well, although Tariq Woolen did get 6 picks last year. But let me put it this way. Stoner Television, those are very, very high numbers. Let's lower the expectations a little bit. Simmer down, slow down a bit. I like what you're thinking, but that's a little over-optimistic on almost all of that there, Stoner Television. Stay off the weed. DK is king, right? Will the Seahawks extend Damien Lewis? DK is king. I'm glad you asked. Will the Seahawks extend Damien Lewis? The answer is yes. I do think they will extend him. The Seahawks don't really have a better solution at the interior of the offensive line right now. And they are needing help. Obviously, you need to draft more in this upcoming draft when you're thinking long-term and all that. But, yeah, I think Damien Lewis is going to be back. And you'll see him get a new contract, be a part of this Seahawks team, at least for a bit anyway. I do expect an extension. Should the Seahawks extend Damien Lewis? What do you think? Y for yes, N for no. This is our pinned comment today. You might get an ad break. If so, take advantage of it. Get your votes in. Tell me what you think one way or the other. Y for yes, N for no. Should the Seahawks extend Damien Lewis or not? Ilona writes in, hashtag Seahawks, you're so far my favorite host. Thank you, Ilona. You're the best for our Seahawks team. Go Seahawks. Thank you, Tyler, for all your great things. I appreciate everything you do. Go Seahawks. Ilona, check is in the mail. Thanks for showing some love and being a part of what we're doing. And I love when people like Ilona are so active in the comment section. You know, we love the super chats and all that, but the best thing that you can do to contribute to this show that's absolutely free is commenting, liking videos, subscribing, do all those things that help out the algorithm. That way we can push this out to as many Seahawk fans as possible to grow this channel and to be a part of what we're doing each and every day. And Alona is a great example of that. Thank you. Peter writes in, since we don't know when Jordan Brooks will come back, do you see us signing another veteran linebacker as Jalen Smith to back up Bobby and Bush to have a decent linebacker room? How about this, Peter? Let me take this a step further. Okay? Can I intrigue you in this idea? What about a trade for Devon White of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Does that fascinate you? I don't think Devon White would cost that much. He's still playing very good football. Not terribly old either, as far as I'm concerned. Something to think about. And it all depends on how good Devin Bush looks as well. You know, and where Jordan Brooks is at and all that. We also know that Jordan Brooks' future is uncertain with his fifth-year option not getting picked up. So there's a possibility. What about that one? That could be possible. Super Chat coming in from John. Thank you, John. My buddy John Smith writes in, do you think the offensive line will make a big jump with our tackles coming into their second year? So this is a great question, John. I really like this question. Let me take a minute to break this down here. Okay? So think about this. You had your starting bookend tackles last year in Abraham Lucas and Charles Cross. And I may be wrong on this, but I believe off the top of my head, Abraham Lucas gave up like 9 sacks last year, which was an extremely high number. And Charles Cross, you know, it was up and down, but he got better as the season went along. The PFF grades, the nerd numbers, all graded out Abraham Lucas better than Charles Cross. But I think what you saw from both players, even as they had their rough patches, and Charles Cross had some penalty issues, and we mentioned the sacks that Abraham Lucas gave up and all that. They were getting better as the season went along, and they showed steps in the right direction. Those guys being another year older, another year in the system. Remember, they both came from systems where they didn't run block a whole lot either. I think you're going to be very pleased at both these players taking big steps. And maybe, just maybe, call me crazy, I think you could be talking about both players having a shot to make the Pro Bowl this upcoming season as far as that goes. So, yes, I do expect a big jump with those tackles getting older. Tom Anderson writes in, is anyone else sick and tired of these so-called experts saying Bobby Wagner has lost a step and won't be the same player as last year? Well, Tom, hear me out on this. I know you're saying the so-called experts here, but, I mean, I had people in the chat the other day saying, is he going to be a breakout player? I'm like, huh? What? He was great with the Rams last year. He was arguably the best middle linebacker in football, playing for a different team and a new system and everything like that. Okay? So it's not just the media. I know the easy thing to do is to blame the media, the big, bad, fake news media. And I know there's some of you watching right now that are probably mad at something I'm saying. You know, they're all butthurt, whatever, you know, in the comment section. But let's be real with y'all here for a second. This is a narrative that's not just been pushed by the media. We've heard this in the Seahawks community as well. Fans thought that he went to the Rams and because the Rams didn't make the playoffs that he wasn't that great or whatever. No, you're wrong. Bobby's still playing great. He's playing great football, and you're going to see it firsthand. He's going to be fantastic. So watch out. Stay tuned. Super chat coming in from Rob Master 2. At the moment, which UDFA has the best chance of starting? None. Let's make that clear. The answer is none. But the best chance of getting playing time, Jake Bobo. He tied in the wide receiver / tight end, whatever the Seahawks decide to do with him, out of UCLA, who also was at Duke before that. Big guy. He impressed in rookie minicamp and OTAs. Not the fastest guy by any stretch, but I do like what he brings to the table. Watch out for him as far as that goes. Thank you, Rob, for that $2 super chat. JSN is cracked. I don't even want to know what that means. What are your expectations for Dre'Mont Jones this season? Dremont Jones is going to be spectacular. I think he'll be a Pro Bowl caliber player. I know that he wasn't cheap to bring in, but he was well worth it. I think you're going to really like what you see out of Dremont Jones, and he'll have a big year for the Seahawks this upcoming season, as far as I'm concerned. Dremont Jones is going to be spectacular. How would you grade the signing of Dremont Jones to the Seahawks? ABCDRF, let us know in the comment section what your grade is for bringing in Dremont Jones. Let me know what you think in the comment section. All right, time for about one more here. Adriano says, who should we get on the QB market as a new backup if Drew Lock doesn't look good enough in the preseason? Let's see. So off the top of my head, free agent quarterbacks. Carson Wentz is out there. Cam Newton is out there, just to name a few. There are plenty of guys out there who could be other options potentially as far as that goes that might get you the same result as a Drew Lock. But we'll see what the Seahawks do. I think Drew Lock's going to make the roster, but obviously there's still more work to be done, and the Seahawks got to figure out if they're going to need to cut some cash to spend it in other places to shore up the roster. But nonetheless, we'll continue to talk about it, and we'll see you next time right here on Seahawks Today.